I'm Wilson Rodriguez, and welcome to Basketball 24/7. Everyone loves basketball. If you don't love basketball, all you have to do is watch the Warriors play once, then you'll fall in love. Of course, basketball doesn't start just with the NBA. There's younger levels of basketball. There's grammar school, middle school, and even college level. And since we're on Bloomfield College, and I'm a Bloomfield College student, I'm going to get into Bloomfield Bear basketball. Here we go.
Bloomfield College is a Division II school, and the basketball team belongs to the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference. The team's colors are maroon and gold.
The Bears' season came to an end at the hands of Philadelphia University in the championship semifinals. The score was 77-67. Even though their season was cut short, they still had a great year, finishing the season with a winning record of 15-13. And not to mention, Claude Blue, a forward for the school, was named to the All-Met first team for his performance this past season. If you're asking me, this season was a success.
We had a really slow start. We have a young team, and between the youth and inexperience and the fact that I always make the non-conference schedule tough, we had a rough start. We were 0-5 at one point. We were 4-10 at another point, but since then we've won 9 out of 11 games, and we have clinched first place in the North Division of the conference. So all in all, we're doing okay.
The athletes here at Bloomfield College all have one thing in common. They're all students, of course. Being a student athlete comes with big responsibilities and can have its upsides as well as its downsides. What are those ups and downsides? Here's what a student athlete from the school had to say.
I love being a student athlete for the fact that I've gotten to meet so many new people that I otherwise never would have met. And also the fact that I got to come to this college because I'm from Minnesota, so traveling halfway across the country to go to college on a scholarship is perfect. A downside to being a student athlete is definitely the stress. We have a lot of responsibility to get things in on time and to maintain our bodies and be able to compete both in the classroom and on the court. It gets really stressful at times, but I'd also say that that's an upside because I feel like that really puts student athletes a level above regular students, having to maintain all of that and not fall apart. So it's a love-hate relationship with that. Oh, there's so many stereotypical things you hear about student athletes, and especially in college, that they get better treatment from teachers, or that teachers will just give them a passing grade for not doing any work, and that's definitely not true. In fact, I've had teachers that do the complete opposite. They're harder on you because you're a student athlete because they get mad that you have to miss their class to go to games. So catching up, the homework isn't hard enough as is, but then you have a teacher who strongly dislikes you just because you're an athlete, and it's difficult to deal with at times. Also, I'd say dealing with the lack of sleep and the odd hours. If you travel for a game, you can be in a completely different state, have your game at 7, get back to campus at 12, have to wake up for an 8 o'clock class that maybe you have a test or homework in. It's really hard to find ways to get your studying and your projects done.
There are a total of 30 NBA teams, and each team has roughly 12 players on the team. That adds up to 360 total NBA players. That is, of course, not counting players that are free agents and players that have been listed as inactive. With all of those teams and all of those players, there are a lot of options when choosing a favorite team and or player.
Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Kobe Bryant are just a few of the most popular players in the NBA today, which would make the Warriors, the Cavaliers, the Thunder, and the Lakers a few of the most popular teams around the NBA today. The only reason the Lakers are a popular team this season is because of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant announcing his retirement has overshadowed the Lakers having their worst season in franchise history. And even with that, Kobe and the Lakers still have one loyal fan out there.
I'm a huge Lakers fan. Gotta go with Kobe. And my favorite basketball player is Dwayne Wade from Marquette University, one of the greatest two guards of all time. And one of the reasons why Dwayne Wade is one of my favorite players is because he took off in the NBA. As a Miami Heat fan, we were just hopeful at the time to have another player emerge outside of Tim Hardaway from the late 90s.
I don't root for the Knicks at all anymore. I left the Knicks after Frazier left. When he became a Cleveland Cavalier, I left the Knicks. But then I became a Seattle Supersonics fan with downtown Freddie Brown, Gus Williams. And then I left and became a Celtics fan when Larry Bird came into play. But it wasn't Larry Bird that was my favorite player for the Celtics. It was Robert Parrish, the Chief, the most intimidating player, I think, that I have seen in quite some time.
And of course, you can't forget this guy as your favorite.
Michael Jordan.
Basketball 24/7 will be back after this.
Attention. The following announcement is an important message regarding our trees and their importance to our planet.
Some people ask me about Mother Nature.
Some people call me a tree hugger.
So what, we all need to breathe.
'Cause I need oxygen to go on.
Don't be so bitter and don't litter. I'm a lover, a dedicator.
To trees that shade me from the sun.
They make paper for one for later. I'm a midnight toker. Trees don't wanna hurt no one.
A single tree can produce nearly 260 pounds of oxygen every year. That means 1 acre of mature trees can provide enough oxygen for 18 people. Provide love to our planet. Keep trees alive. For more information, please visit www.treepeople.org.
The one thing every basketball fan, as well as non-basketball fans, have been talking about this entire season is the Golden State Warriors. When it comes to the Warriors, everyone's concern isn't them winning it back-to-back, but the possibility of them breaking the 72-10 single-season record that was set by the Chicago Bulls way back 20 years ago. To better understand the possibility that the Warriors have of setting this record, let's recap on their season and the season that the Bulls had 20 years ago.
The Golden State Warriors are having a magical season, starting the season 24-0 and are now currently 62-7. They are the fastest team in history to reach 60 wins and are the favorite to win it all. The 1995-1996 Chicago Bulls are widely regarded as the greatest team in NBA history, winning a record 72 games while only losing 10 games. This team also went on to win the championship. The Warriors currently have 13 games left this season. To break the record set by the Bulls, they need to win 11 of those remaining 13 games. That doesn't seem too far out of reach when you remember that the Warriors began the season 24-0. When it comes to comparing and contrasting, there are lots of things that can be said about these teams, beginning with the era. The 95-96 Bulls played in an era that was extremely physical and primarily dominated by the big men on the court, such as the centers and power forwards, as opposed to the era that the Warriors play in today, where the games aren't as physical and the games are dominated by smaller players such as guards and small forwards. People say that because of this, the Warriors have had it easier than the Bulls did 20 years ago. Another difference between the two teams is the rules. There are rules that stood 20 years ago when the Bulls went on their 72-10 run that are not implemented in today's game. One of those rules is the hand-checking rule. This rule forbids players to guard another player with their hands. They are not allowed to touch them with their hands or is considered a foul. Back then, that rule didn't exist. Players were able to defend each other by using their hands to touch other players, making it easier for the defense to defend. Now that rule has changed, it is harder for the defense to guard the offensive player. Again, this change favors the Warriors. How likely are the Warriors to beat the record set by the 95-96 Bulls? Let's take a look. The Warriors are 62-7 right now. At this point in the season, 20 years ago, the Bulls were 61-8. That means that the Warriors are an entire game ahead of schedule when compared to the Bulls team. Now let's take a look at team stats. As a team, the Warriors are shooting 48% from the field, 41% from the three-point, averaging 29.2 assists per game, 53 rebounds per game, and are scoring 115.4 points per game. The Bulls shot 47% from the field, 40% from the three, averaged 24.8 assists per game, 44 rebounds per game, and scored 105 points per game. So if we're going just by the numbers, the Warriors are the better team and have a really good chance of breaking the record.
I asked a few people if they believe that the Warriors can indeed break the 72-10 record, and this is what they had to say.
I feel like they can break it. They're a young team. They're very energetic. They're on the go. It's just something about them is the team is different. Like when you see them play, it's just with confidence on the floor, like 24/7. Doesn't matter, they're up and down, they still got it. You know, even though they only lost 5 games, that's pretty impressive. Like, that's amazing. To me, I just think, you know, in the 90s, Chicago Bulls were a team to beat, you know. Yeah. But Warriors is a different vibe. Yeah, so that's how I feel.
I think if they stay healthy, they're going to get it because, you know, they are a true team. Now, you take a look at the three-point shooting contest during the All-Star festivities in Toronto, Canada. When your top 2 players are Klay Thompson, you know, and Steph Curry, just think about that. The shooting ability of this team, Draymond Green, you add him into the mix, they are a powerhouse, but it's a grueling season. So are they going to be able to stay healthy? The games they have lost, someone usually has been out of the lineup or been sitting out. So, you know, when they're actually all on the court together, who's going to beat them? Well, they might have an off night here and there, but I think they're going to catch the Bulls. You think about that great team that the Bulls had. They were a true team with a tremendous leader with Michael Jordan. But if you didn't have Dennis Rodman and you didn't have Scottie Pippen and you didn't have some outside shooting just to add for some offense, that's all the elements, though, that the Warriors have. They have everybody for a different role. You know, even their big guy underneath, all he does is rebound, and that's all they need him to do.
And if all of this isn't enough, the Warriors still have one great advantage: Steve Kerr, who is their head coach. Steve Kerr played alongside Michael Jordan and won 4 championships with him. He even hit the game-winning shot in Game 6 of the 1997 Finals to win the championship. If the Warriors do break the 72-10 record, Steve Kerr will be part of both of these historic teams.
Some people like to say that football is better than basketball. To those people, I say think again. Basketball is played regularly around the world by many countries, unlike American-style football, which is primarily played here in America. Like I said before, if you don't like basketball, all you have to do is watch the Warriors play one time and you'll instantly fall in love. I'm Wilson Rodriguez, and thank you for watching.